just my job. You know, honestly, I do feel good enough to play right now. So we'll see what happens.
I talk about this year. I asked Chris Bosh earlier during media day, what would be the difference this season for him? And that guy gave a great answer. I wonder what yours is. And I'll tell you what this was.
The difference for me this year?
The difference. You could be the team, whatever.
Being healthy. Healthy would be huge for me. The team, I think, is just, as a whole, just playing together and knowing each other. That's huge. I mean, those guys, these three guys, the bobbleheads right here, being comfortable with each other, knowing exactly where they're going to be. And then also incorporating the players that we have. I think it's just going to be I think it's going to be a fun year for us. I think we have a lot of stuff that we have to prove yet, which is good.
Yeah, Chris was very inward as well. He said himself, by the way, I sold your bobblehead on eBay for $190,000. That's why it's not here.
Yeah,
it's a good move. Happy holidays from the Jacksons, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
There was a lot of conversation about where you were going to be and how it was going to happen. What was your feeling and what was the information you received about year 2 for you with the Miami Heat? Because there was a lot in the atmosphere.
Well, you know, the one good thing about being in the league long enough, whenever you've been in the league as long as I have, if you listen to everything that's always said about me, I've been traded 1,000 times, you know, and that's part of it. I completely understand. There's a business to this game. We just want to go out there and have fun and play, but there's also a business to it. They got to make the decisions that's best for the basketball team. I just kept working hard. I wanted to be ready for the season. Unfortunately, I felt like I was in the best condition and shape I've ever been. I got back in the weight room. But I just came up, like, you know, I ended up being injured. But, you know, Riley and Mickey both were adamant about me staying. I'm just happy to be here, and now hopefully I can contribute.
I'm happy that you're here on this set. I'm happy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Before this quarter ends, let's toss it back to Eric and Tony.
Just in time, Jacks. The quarter.
Even though you know it, it's still tough to stop. But I'm glad I don't have to defend those guys anymore in game situation or in practice.
You know, we have admired the way you play the game and approach life for a long time, from your days at Detroit Country Day and Duke, and through your 10 NBA seasons with Houston and Memphis. But coming here to Miami, we get to appreciate the kind of player you are. It fits perfectly into the Heat culture. They've always valued players that are as versatile and defensive oriented as you. Talk about your intellectual approach to defense. You really put a lot of study and thought into each and every defensive assignment.
Well, I'm not winning any 100-yard sprints these days. I'm not the most athletic guy, but I try to equalize that with my preparation and my study of individual tendencies, and I try to make it almost second nature to know every single call that the other team is going to call, and I found that's giving me a huge edge once I get into the game. And while I may not be the highest jumper, I think I'm a fast thinker and can think under pressure and make the right choices, especially defensively, in the game situation.
Earlier this week we were talking about your defensive approach, and you said something that intrigued me, and I wanted to ask you about it. You said, my job as a defender is to create doubt, and when doubt creeps in, I win. What do you mean by that?
Well, every offensive player has a plan, what they want to do, and they know what they do best on the floor. It's my job to know what they do best and what they do worse. And I'm trying to obviously force the offensive player to do what they don't do very well as many times as possible. And more often than not, you see a little bit of doubt in the offensive player's mind. When doubt creeps in, they lose aggressiveness. And in this game, aggressiveness, especially on the offensive end, is everything. And so I feel I gain a slight edge by creating that little bit of doubt.
You also said that you want to make winning plays on a winning team. Has that been your approach in college and then
ever since the YMCA kiddie ball, it's you play to win the game. And you know, I've always enjoyed really diving for loose balls, just getting back in transition defense. The small plays, they never show up in a box score, but no question about it, they directly impact the final score. And hey, if I can go home at the end of the night, have a Bud Light, knowing I did everything in my power to help my team win and do those little things, I'm a happy man.
Well, Shane Petty, you're taking a phrase from NFL coach Herman Edwards. You play to win the game, and I'll take a line from Bart Scott, the NFL linebacker. When it comes to looking forward to watching you play, can't wait.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm excited for the opportunity, and I can't wait to get it.
we're happy you're here, Shane.
Shane Battier out of Duke, 10 NBA seasons invested, and now he's come to finish his NBA career and finish the quest, try to win an NBA championship with a Miami Heat. And Shane, right as we're about to say goodbye to you, one quick word about a young man who's been impressive in camp and tonight, Norris Cole, very quickly.
He's got a bright future. He's got a very bright future. I'm excited to watch him develop.
Not only competitive, concise. Shane Battier.